make me this deal. Won't you give me love, give me love, give me love, give me love when I'm gone. When I'm gone. Give me love, give me love, give me love, give me love when I'm gone. When I'm gone. Look into your heart and let me know. Do things turn black and gray as they go? When I'm far too gone, can you show me love? Give me love.
This is skiing to your doorstep. Or snowboarding, right?
Yeah.
Snowboarding to your doorstep.
Dude, now it's the first time I ever drank mead, and you know, your dad was here, and he sorry, my fault. Your dad was here, and he was like, "Yo, you want some mead?" And I've never drank mead before, so I was like, "Hell yeah!" And he gave it to me, and I like started drinking it fast. Didn't know that it was made with Everclear and honey, so I was drunk like in the first hour. And then my buddy Cam came, like it was his first day. He moved like over here, and I'm like, "Cam, you want some mead?" He's like, "Hell yeah!" He didn't know what it was, so then he drank it all fast, and dude, we're both just super wasted. Cy was great at the Irish goodbye, which is we all be hanging out, and all of a sudden Cy just go, like he's just gone. And we be like, what the hell?
I unfortunately kind of got a little separated from him just because I'm not working at Rosario anymore, so I didn't get to see him as much as I had been. But like I was telling them, the first night that I was here, that I was living here, one of the other guys knocked on my door and invited me out, so I came and met with everybody. And after kind of making the rounds with everybody, I believe Saeed and I smoked a little joint together, and then he showed me what he was working on in his room, and he had his art out, and he was working on a painting of, I think it was it was a house, and there were like 2 people in front of it. There was like a field. It was pretty involved, and it was a pretty big painting. And I asked him like what he was going to do with them. He's like, oh, I just practice on them, and then I cover them back up, and then I go back over them. So always working towards something. And and then Ariel, him and I all watched we all loved Westworld, so we all watched that together every time we could. Him and I surprisingly shared a lot of similar music. Every time I come out and hear him playing music, I'm like, is this my phone? Like, how are you, where is this? Like, it's my exact playlist. So we shared a lot of music together too.
Yeah, what kind of music was this?
It was sort of like, let's see, like chill hip hop, R&B stuff.
Ah, okay.
Daniel Caesar, Glass Animals, Childish Gambino, 99 Neighbors, Her, S.G. Lewis is the one. Yeah, stuff like that.
He liked rock too, because sometimes he'd have like that heavy metal playing down there.
Oh, would he?
What do you like this?
Listen to like pretty much every
Yeah,
genre.
he's listening to
Like,
everything. He was the first person that a lot of people met. I know he was my first person. He was Keenan's. It was his.
He was always out here.
He was, yeah. He was always out here.
He built that boat.
Yeah,
he built these fire pits.
He made the garden in that boat.
He
too.
did build the fire
Really?
pits. I forgot about that.
Wait, which boat? You mean this boat that has
He-
the plants in
He
it?
made the garden in it, yeah. Those are all his plants.
Bucketed in all the dirt.
He was one of those people that we were always like, everybody knows Sai. Like, he was so consistent here, and everybody knew him. You'd always see him in town. Like, when this happened, everybody was like, I just saw him, like, because he was always with everybody.
Even after he stopped working at Rosario, I'd always still see him around somewhere. Just around.
He'd always come check in on people. And,
He was a pillar of the community.
yeah, he really
He
was.
worked like 4 jobs.
Yeah, he was one of
Yeah.
the hardest workers I've
Yeah.
ever known. He was always hustling, always working.
Last summer,
Every
he'd
day.
always be like, I've got like 60 hours in. And I'm like, it's like the 3rd day of the week, Sai.
He worked like
He was
32 days in a row last summer.
Jeez, yeah, and it was always really great to work with him. I knew what to expect from him. I knew how to communicate with him. He was always very understanding of anybody's, like, because everyone's gonna want something a little different, or customers might ask for some bizarre changes on the menu, and he's like, no, yeah, if we can do it, we'll do it. And he was always really, really good about that. And so it was really nice to see him there.
I feel like Sai always had a lot of goals too. He always like had milestones that he was like reaching. Like, he didn't have a car for a while, and he's like, I'm gonna buy a car, I want to buy a bike, and he always talked about buying a house here, and he's like, I'm gonna save for it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He always like was talking about
he wanted
saving.
he wanted
He
property.
wanted property on this. He loves this island, or like loved it. Like,
And I live on the Buck Mountain.
he lives on Buck Mountain.
I think it was Saturday or Friday before, and he was just coming in to do some shopping at the market, and I was just working there at the cafe, and I just remembered I commented on him. We caught up, and I commented at him. I was like, hey, like, it might be silly of me to say, but like, you're looking really good. Like, it seemed like he was really healthy, and he was talking about his goals. He was talking about, like, because he loved the craft of food, but he didn't seem like he wanted to do that forever. He wanted to, he was talking about going into franchising something. So he just seemed really motivated and ready to do the next thing, and really happy. Yeah, that was my last interaction with him.
He was super talented. One of the things that I've always known about him is that he would read so much. Like, when we were together, when we were young, I mean, he was one of the smartest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
He would read all the time, and it's crazy because, I don't think I knew even a quarter of what he knew. He taught me so much when we were young, and he, whenever he wanted to learn something, he would, just read about it. When Seth was little, when Seth was born, he was a handyman at an apartment that we lived at, and he was just so good. And like you all said, he was very responsible. No matter what the circumstances, Saeed would go to work every day. He did not miss a day of work. Like, he was
like
never the kind of person never called in sick, nothing. Like, he could be, I don't know, he could have not had enough hours of sleep the previous night or whatever the case might be, but he would always go to work every single day.
Super consistent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
honestly, I don't
consistent.
think I remember a day that he was ever scheduled and not there. I don't think he ever called out.
I don't think that
Yeah.
ever happened. And he never complained about anything. All of us would be like complaining, like, why did management do this?
Yeah,
or why
he
is it
never
like
had
this?
anything
And he's
negative
like,
to say.
why do you care?
Yeah,
Yeah, he just...
always came in with a smile.
Even when we were sort of complaining about the BS on the island, because every community has some nonsense, it was always something we could laugh about, and it was never like we were never down about it, and so it was always a positive sort of reflection on what we were going through in our lives.
The last thing he said to me about you specifically, Patty, he got back from the trip and he was like, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I'm so glad I went. I really think you should meet my ex-wife. I think you guys will get along. Pretty sure you're going to have a huge fight, but then you'll be great friends. And he talked about that trip to me for months.
Yeah.
And he was looking forward to, he wanted to come and see you guys.
When he was down there, one of the things that he said was, he said, I want the boys to come and see me in the summer. He's like, and I said, well, what about me? I'm like, what, you don't want me to come? I was joking. He's like, no. He says, you can come too. He says, all three of you can come. He says, you could stay at the resort. He said, you're really gonna like it there. It's a really nice place. And, so we were, that was kind of like the last thing, right? And we were really excited to come here. And it's just so sad that we're here and he's not here.
He had actually bought some air mattresses, 2 for you guys to crash at our house on. Yeah, he was really excited.
And it's just, honestly, I'm so grateful that he was happy here. I'm so grateful for everyone, because it's nice that he was happy and that he's gone, but he was happy, and I appreciate all the stories and anything that you guys can share. It's nice because he was a beautiful person, and everywhere he went, he was loved by people, and he made friends everywhere. He could go into a bar and come out with 10 friends.
Yeah. He would.
This comes from the headstone in Ireland and explains the belief that those we love are never gone from us. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always near, still loved, still missed, and very dear. Dee? If anyone else wants to come up and either make a toast or have something to say about Cy, then you're more than welcome to.
I didn't know him half as well as a lot of you guys, but I knew him well enough. And something that really was made apparent to me after lots of discussions about him and lots of remembering was that he was a very driven person. He really did what he wanted to do. And something that Catherine here said the other night was that he would want us to laugh more. He wants us to be happy. So something that I really want to try and do every day is do those things, and in part do them to honor him. Cheers.
Only knew Sai well for a short period of time, but he cared so much about people in this place, and he cared about making sure everybody else was happy and taken care of. And he just, for me, brought such a joy to be around. I'm just really gonna miss him. Yeah.
Baker.
All right, do we have to stand up? Is that what we're doing? No, Sai was kind. He had a gentle heart, and he made everybody feel like they were included in his life. I've never seen him be mean to anyone. I've seen him detract from those kind of moments where a lot of people can. And he had a lot of value for this community, and I really wish we'd had a lot more years together. And I'm going to say a toast that I wrote in 4th grade for him. Lead the way, destroy the path. Take the darkest road to paradise. Drink the wine, taste the blood, and lead your way out again.
I'm not good at public speaking whatsoever. This is like, but I love him so much, and he changed me, and I'm just always gonna take those lessons and those memories, and I'm gonna hold on to them, and I'm never gonna forget him. I don't know what else to say because there's just too many words that could be said.